We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. Are we excited? Are we excited? I hope we are. I hope we are. Are we hyped, though? Are we hyped? You guys don't seem hyped. It's a Hypertalk. We gotta be hyped, right? Right? We get in there. We get in there. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna start. Is there a clock? We just start. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Start the clock. Okay. Go. All right. Hi. I'm Cukia, but it's a tough one. You're looking at that and you're like, how do we pronounce that, right? But I made something very easy for you guys to just get into my name, right? So we start with Shu, Kya. All right, right? It's just like Shu, Kya. Right? We got it. But I mean, if it's still tough for you right now, you can just call me Sugar. All right? I get to make like very sweet jokes from that, so it happens. I was born in Nairobi, Kenya, there on the map, but I was raised all over Africa. And for my 7th birthday, my parents got me a PlayStation, and everything changed. Everything. I was like, okay, fine. These games are cool, but I was like, who's making them? Who are these magicians? I want to be them. And before that, I wanted to be a surgeon, so I probably would have been saving lives now, but now I'm just making games. But this just revolutionized everything. But the environment that I was in, like, just didn't facilitate for learning game development. So I just kind of passively went through high school, did the motions, went to class. I wasn't really excited. I was pretty much like that. And then all I wanted was, I just wanted some sign from the gods to tell me, like, where are we getting these game development? I want to do this. But I kept searching. I was like, where's this game dev party? I want in. I definitely want to do this. And somewhere along the line, someone was like, well, you need to learn how to program. You need to do this. And like, okay. I was like, all right, listen, I need to learn how to program. And luckily at this same time, my parents had like thrown me into boarding school in South Africa in like some small town, but they had programming. So I did that, had fun doing it, learned, went to university, did the whole computer science thing, still passively going through the motions, right? And it was looming closer and closer to graduation, and I was like, oh my goodness, we still haven't found video games. We're probably going to be making like banking software. That's boring. But then I found the cool guys at Make Games South Africa. It's a local community in South Africa, and everyone was just so welcoming. And I didn't understand it. But what like threw me off, I was just like, that guy's making games. That guy's making games. We're all making games. And I was like, we're in Africa? Is this for real? So I mean, like, it was amazing, and there we go. Everyone was making games, and everyone was so welcoming, and like the love that I was getting from everyone, just everyone wanted you to like get better. You started throwing prototypes. You were learning from experienced devs, and all that just changed the way I looked at the way the world was, and I was like, I just want to make games with these super cool people. And I got to collaborate with different people and go to game jams. Yes, game jams, best thing in the world. But at the same time, I was spending a lot of time on Twitter, and I was getting to learn all the international devs, and I was like, oh, these guys are successful. Oh, they're doing really cool stuff. And then Amaze Johannesburg happened, and I was like, okay, this is my time to meet these international devs. But let me tell you the quick story about Amaze for me, is that I was working next to the venue, and I saw Thorsten in the window, and he looked pretty lost on the streets of Johannesburg. So I went out, I was like, you're the Amaze guy? He was like, yes, I'm Amaze guy. Yeah, and then, all right, cool. And then he was just like, oh, I showed him a game, and he was like, oh, this is really cool. You should do a Hypertalk. And I was like, what do you mean? I've only been doing this for like a year. You want to do a Hypertalk? He's like, yes, you do a Hypertalk? And I was like, cool. And then I did a Hypertalk, and then I was in a lineup with like people like Yukio and Saz, and I was like, these guys are famous. Well, what am I doing here? And I gave my Hypertalk, and after the Hypertalk, it was hugs and like at that moment, that was the moment where I was like, I had built up this like hierarchical system into these guys are better than me and all that stuff. They probably were. But I was just like, that's indie love. You know? And I just couldn't believe that I was meeting all these international devs and like it was changing my world. And I just wanted to be like, this community, our community, the independent games developers community, is one of the most welcoming communities I've been around. And I've been around the block. And it's a place where you can be inspired, motivated to keep creating games that break the medium and reform it again. And I just wanted to say thank you. You guys are cool, and I probably wouldn't be this far if it wasn't for you guys. Much love, homies.